I'm 80 years old, and I never thought I would need to learn how to say no with my own money. But after my wife died, the phone calls started coming to me, not with yelling, not with threats, just quiet pressure. I hate to ask, just this one time, I'll pay you back soon. And because I didn't want to look cold, I kept saying yes. I live in a small duplex outside Phoenix. It's a simple place. Beige carpet, a small patio, and an old truck that still runs if I take care of it. I live on a fixed income, Social Security, and a pension. I have enough to live, but only if I'm careful. The problem was, I stopped being careful when family asked for money. It started with my son, Mark. He called one afternoon and said his work hours were cut. He sounded embarrassed. He asked for $3,000 to get through the month. I sent it right away. I didn't ask questions. When he paid me back later, I felt proud. I felt needed. I told myself, this is what fathers do. Then my daughter Lisa asked for $5,000 because my grandson needed braces. Insurance didn't cover enough. Her voice was steady, but I could hear stress under it. I said yes again, quickly, like it was my job to fix it. After that, the smaller requests started. $200, $800, until Friday, until my refund comes, until the car is out of the shop. Every time there was a reason, and every time the reason sounded urgent. Slowly, my phone started to make my stomach tighten. I'd see a name on the screen and think, please don't ask me again. I didn't talk to anyone about it. That was a mistake. I felt embarrassed. I didn't want my friends to know I was being pulled around. I didn't want to seem weak. So I kept it quiet, and the pressure grew. When you keep it quiet, you start believing you have no choice. My breaking point wasn't one big betrayal. It was a normal week where I finally saw what was happening. My water heater started making a rattling sound. I kept ignoring it because I didn't want to spend money. That's the strange part. I was avoiding fixing my own home, but I was sending money out to other adults. Then the water heater died. Cold shower on a Sunday morning. I stood there shivering and angry, not at the water heater, but at myself. I realized I was treating my own needs like they didn't matter. That same day, my niece called and asked for found $200 for rent. I told her, I can't. I didn't explain. I didn't apologize. I just said I can't. She went quiet and said, wow, I thought you were different, like my worth as a person depended on me paying her bills. That sentence stayed with me. It showed me something I didn't want to admit. Some people weren't asking because they respected me. They were asking because they expected me to fold. After that call, I sat down with the yellow legal pad. I wrote down every amount I had given in the last year. Then I checked my bank statements to be sure. When I added it up, it was over $22,000. That scared me. That's not a little help. That's my safety money. That's home repairs. That's medical bills. That's the money that keeps my life steady. And it hit me that nobody had asked what it cost me. Nobody said, Dad, can you really afford that? They assumed I could, because I always said yes, so I changed how I handle it. The first thing I did was stop deciding right away. If someone asked for money, I started saying the same line every time. Let me check my numbers, and I'll get back to you. I said it calmly, like a habit. That pause helped me more than I expected. It gave me time to breathe. It gave me time to look at my accounts. And it also showed me something else. Some emergencies suddenly had other solutions when I didn't say yes immediately. When the answer isn't instant, the story changes. The second thing I did was open a separate bank account just for helping family. Once a month, I move a small amount into it, an amount I can afford to lose without panic. If that account has $200, then the most I can give is $200. If it has nothing, then I have nothing to give. That simple boundary saved me from emotional decisions. When my son said, Dad, you're not broke, I finally learned to answer without arguing. I said, I'm managing my money differently now, and I stopped talking. That part matters. When you explain too much, people treat your reasons like something they can debate. They try to talk you out of your boundary. Another change I made was this. I stopped giving cash for the same problem again and again. If someone said they needed help with a bill, I offered to pay the bill directly. If they said they needed groceries, I offered to order groceries. Real needs don't get offended by real help, but cash-only requests sometimes disappear the moment you ask for details. The hardest part was accepting disappointment. I had to learn that some people would be upset with me for a while, and I could survive that. I used to pay money just to avoid that feeling. But the peace you buy that way never lasts. It always comes back, and it costs more each time. One day my son came over angry and said, "So you're just done helping now?" I hate conflict. My hands were shaking, but I told him the truth. I'm not done loving you. I'm done hurting myself to prove it. He left upset. We didn't talk much for 2 weeks. That hurt. I won't pretend it didn't. But during those 2 weeks, I noticed something. My body felt calmer. I slept better. I wasn't scared of my phone. I fixed things in my own house without guilt. I still help sometimes. I helped my daughter recently when her washer broke because it was real, it was rare, and it didn't put me in danger. That kind of help feels clean. No dread, no resentment. At 80, I'm not protecting my money because I'm greedy. I'm protecting it because I need safety. I'm protecting it because I'm tired of living in fear, and I finally learned this. I can love my family and still keep my hands on my own wallet.